quantities in Ghana. Government will in May 2023, that is 6 months from now, review the situation. We must, as a matter of urgent national security, reduce our dependence on imported goods and enhance our self-reliance.
The president also called for support for farmers and domestic industries, including those created under the One District, One Factory initiative to help reduce Ghana's dependence on import and allow for the opportunity to export more and more of Ghana-made product and guarantee a sustainable and stable currency that will present a high level of predictability for citizens and the business community. So that will President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo speaking to the nation on the state of the economy. Sorry, we could not bring you that voice for the story. Moving on to some other stories this morning. The president of the Ghana Union of Traders Association, GUTA, Dr. Joseph Boateng, has confirmed that government has decided to peg the dollar rate at the port for the purposes of duty payment for a tentative period of 3 months. However, he said the dollar rate will be pegged at. However, he said the rate at which the dollar will be pegged at was not disclosed to them. Now, touching on the new development on the issue, GUTA president revealed that this intervention was reached when his outfit and other stakeholders met the government on the current economic crisis in the country, characterized by high inflation, the cedi depreciation, and high interest rate. Dr. Boateng said this intervention will bring some relief but will not serve as a panacea to the current national economic crisis. The GUTA president said it is important for government to acknowledge that while they have decided to make some minor adjustments, the crux of the issue remains. What the trading public clamors for essentially has not been addressed, according to him. He said the fact that business capitals are being eroded by the effect of the foreign exchange, inflation and interest rate, and as such government through the Bank of Ghana must curtail it in the shortest possible time. Now to some other stories. More than 800,000 people in one district in Wuhan were told to stay at home until 30th October. Now, the city of Zhonghua, home of the world's largest iPhone manufacturing plant, was also affected. It comes as China reported a third straight day of more than 1,000 cases. Earlier this month, Mr. Xi Jinping signaled that there would be no easing up of the zero-COVID policy, calling it a people's war to stop the spread of the virus. As of October 24th, some 28 cities across the country were implementing some degree of lockdown measures, with around 207 million people affected in regions responsible for almost a quarter of China's GDP. Across the country, around 200 lockdowns have been implemented in recent days, the majority of this affecting communities that have been marked as high or medium risk. Residents in different areas are subject to different rules depending on whether they are in low, medium or high risk zones. Wuhan reported up to 25 new infections a day this week, and with more than 200 cases over the past 2 weeks. Those seen as relatively small outbreak in other parts of the world, China adheres to a strict zero-COVID policy where authorities try to wipe out outbreaks. The adherence to the policy comes despite increasing public fatigue and anger over lockdowns and travel restrictions. The country's economy, and more especially the shipping industry, has also been hit hard as a result, with GDP falling by 2.6% in 3 months to the end of June from the previous quarter. Analysts seem divided on how much low rate will head before settling at a new normal level. According to Shifex, one of the host of container spot freight rate indices, freight rate for 40-foot container moving from China to the port of Los Angeles fell to $1,825 in October, which is equivalent to the pre-pandemic peak season level. The Trans-Pacific is the trade lane that has experienced the most dramatic fall in fortunes over the past few months, though this is something that is hurting smaller new entrant on the trade far more than the established big names. The U.S. housing market downturn is now official, a data point which has historically been a good leading indicator for container shipping demand. With rollover in the leading container headline indices moderating in the past couple of weeks, some analysts believe this is a sign the sector is getting close to bottoming out. HSBC is one of the companies maintaining this viewpoint. Something detailed in a new shipping report issued this week entitled "Less Bad News is Good News." HSBC urged carriers to blank the suspend more services to stabilize spot freight rate ahead of the